Something moved in on my farm. When my father died, I left St. Louis without saying goodbye to anyone. I was 32 at the time, working in an office, staring at a screen all day, eating burritos for dinner, drinking beer just to fall asleep. One day, I looked in the bathroom mirror and realized I didn't recognize the guy staring back. That same day, I called a lawyer, signed the papers, and a week later, I moved into my father's house, an old farm in Lincoln County, deep Missouri. The middle of nowhere, paradise. It smelled like earth, real earth. It was quiet, and no one honked behind you in traffic. No one shoved you in line. No one asked dumb questions. Just corn, sun, wind, and time that finally slowed down. I lived like my dad, up at dawn, walking the fields, fixing wires, planting the crop. The first 2 years went great. The corn thrived. The equipment worked. I sold some, kept some for the winter. I thought I'd found what I was looking for. Then came the fire. The neighboring forest caught fire in August. They said it was a dry lightning storm. For 2 weeks, the sky looked like ash. Soot coated my roof, and even the corn smelled burnt. When the fire passed, the woods turned into a dead wasteland. The trees stood like charcoal crosses, and that's when things got weird. I started finding burrows, not small ones, not like moles. These were massive, bigger than sewer lids. First one, then a week later, 7, all around the edges of the cornfield. Then the corn started vanishing. Whole patches near the holes were missing, not chewed, cut. The stalks were down like someone had sliced them with a blade, and the ears of corn were gone. One evening, I heard rustling at the edge of the field. I grabbed a flashlight, an axe, and headed out. It was hot, muggy. The beam barely pierced the thick growth. I found the thing by a broken stalk, small, no bigger than a medium-sized dog. Hairless, its skin the color of raw meat. Eyes, or where eyes should have been, were just 2 sunken pits. It was holding a corn cob in its paws and crunching on it like salad. I stood still. So did it. We stared at each other. I with my eyes, it maybe with ears, I don't know. The creature didn't fear me, but I feared it deep in my gut. 100 questions ran through my head. What is it? Where did it come from? Is it dangerous? And the biggest, why the hell are you on my land eating my damn corn? I didn't think long. This was my farm, my crop. Whatever you are, you're just a pest. I raised the axe and buried it in its skull. The thing collapsed instantly, corn still half chewed in its mouth. Its blood was thick and black, stinking like burnt tar. I grabbed it by the tail and jumped back immediately. A long, thin gash opened across my palm. Blood trickled down my fingers. Cursing loudly, I grabbed it again, by the leg this time, and dragged it to the nearest hole. Without ceremony, I tossed its lifeless body inside. Let the others know who's boss, who owns this land. Satisfied, I took a swig of whiskey from my flask and strolled back to the porch like a damn victor. I didn't realize it then, but that was the moment I opened Pandora's box. And my life was about to go straight to hell. A few days later, I noticed more corn gone, but different this time. The stalks weren't cut, they were broken, and nearby I found a dead raccoon. Its throat was slashed, bite marks all over the body, shallow and clumsy. What, you guys switching to meat now? Not the best idea with those tiny, dull-ass teeth. I chuckled to myself. That same night, I heard something running on my roof. I grabbed my shotgun and stormed out onto the porch. It was dark as a cellar, only the moon casting light on the far edge of the cornfield. And then I saw the second creature, right in front of me. It was different from the first, even uglier. It was bigger, moved on all fours, its back twisted unnaturally. On its head were bony growths, right where I'd planted the axe in the first one. It moved strange, jerky, pausing like an insect. I squinted, and oh God, I dropped my cigarette and started coughing. Out of its back grew another creature, smaller, still forming, but just as hideous. Was it reproducing from itself? Mitosis? Like a cell splitting, not under a microscope, but right here in the goddamn corn. It couldn't be real. The Siamese freaks heard my coughing, snarled, and to my shock, flashed sharp teeth at me, then dove into the corn with a screech. The next few weeks became a blurred nightmare. I found a goat ripped to shreds, fur torn out, ribs gnawed, then chickens, sheep. They started hunting. Meat replaced corn completely. I kept thinking about that first creature, peaceful, just eating, quiet. I started this, I killed the first, I made the rest change. Each one after looked different. One had spines on its back, another long sharp claws, a third had armor plating down its sides. They were adapting, generation after generation. And I started to fear, not them, not the half-baked mutants. My shotgun still worked on them. I feared what they were going to become. In their bodies, I saw, I don't know, nature's revenge. Like evolution had hit fast forward. They weren't born out of love, but out of fear. One morning, I found 6 chickens dead in the yard, scattered like someone had played soccer with them. Beaks ripped off, chests split open. A goat lay in the mud, eyes bulging, neck snapped in two. That wasn't just a kill, it was a warning. I'd had enough. I grabbed a notebook and started planning. First, traps. Found some rusty old bear traps in the attic, cleaned them up, set them around the field near the remaining holes, baited them with raw, bloody meat. 3 days later, one snapped shut. First and last one that worked. Damn, things learned fast. I tried fire, built a homemade flamethrower, nearly burned half my crop, and the creatures didn't even flinch. Their skin didn't seem to care. I bought a trail camera, standard hunter model with infrared, mounted it to a tree near some fresh tracks. Next night, I checked the footage and nearly dropped the SD card. 3 of them, one tall, lanky with limbs like a monkey, one covered in armored plates like a turtle on steroids, and the third, it had eyes, dark, shiny, and it stared straight into the camera. They were starting to see me. I moved on to poison, mixed rat poison with meat and milk, laid it near the burrows, the shed, trash bins. The poison killed 7 of them. Their bodies swelled like beached whales. I thought, finally it worked. But no, on the third day, the camera caught a new one. Same build, but its skin was almost translucent. It ate the poisoned meat like it was enjoying the joke. Every kill, every body wasn't a victory. It was evolution. From their backs, like some nightmare fungus, a new one would grow, peel off, and scurry away. And each one was better, stronger, smarter, meaner. They started attacking in formation like a pack. I could hear it, synchronized footsteps. No howls, just breathing. Then, bam, an ambush. Two sides. They knew where I was, where the fence was weakest, where the cameras were. Killing them got harder. But I was still holding my ground. I turned my house into a fortress. Bars on the windows, ammo in drawers, traps at the doors. Each new night was the start of another round in this long losing war I probably won't survive. Sometimes I ask myself, why? Why do they keep coming? Why not leave? Find somewhere safe? Somewhere they don't have to fight and die every single day? And then it hit me. This is their nature. They probably lived peacefully for centuries. A small group in that forest. Until the fire, the disaster forced them onto my land, and I introduced them to cruelty. I'm their stimulus for evolution. I'm the obstacle, the threat they respond to. Every trap, every bullet, every drop of poison, that's a challenge. And they answer. I don't know how much longer I can hold them back, or if I even should. They're only getting stronger, and soon, very soon, they'll move on, spread like a plague, ready for anything, and full of hate for